Yeah, I killed him because God told me to. He didn't let me get to the scripture. But you listen to this all day. It's fat and he's a.
You're really going to speak like that?
Yeah, now listen. God commanded me to kill him, and I did it. I don't care what you sentence me to today, because I'm looking back out to the grace of God. But you should be worried about yourself. So I'm still going to get out. This sentence don't mean nothing. God got me through the grace of God. And so, all you straight up, I'm good.
It began as a quiet 4th of July in Rotterdam, New York. Families celebrated with barbecues, fireworks, and long summer evenings. But inside one home on Fern Avenue, something horrifying was about to unfold. 2 people, well-loved members of their community, would never live to see the end of the holiday. And the person responsible wasn't a stranger. It was someone they had welcomed into their home, someone they trusted. When the truth emerged, even seasoned prosecutors and a veteran judge admitted they had never witnessed anything so disturbing. This is the story of Anthony Lewis Jr., a man who claimed he was carrying out a command from God when he murdered his own mother and stepfather.
Anthony Lewis arraigned this afternoon after he was extradited to New York from Pennsylvania. News 10 ABC's Zion Decoto joining us live right now outside of the courtroom with the very latest. Zion.
Tristan, the defendant Anthony Lewis pled not guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder, a felony grand larceny charge, and a felony unauthorized vehicle charge. Lewis is charged with first-degree murder for allegedly killing his mother and stepfather at their Fern Avenue home in Rotterdam. The incident occurred on July 7th. Lewis is accused of stabbing his 65-year-old mother, Cathy Guillaume, and his stepfather, 73-year-old Robert Guillaume, multiple times. Lewis was detained in Pennsylvania on an unrelated matter, then extradited to New York. In court today, Lewis was calm. He said a prayer to himself before his attorney entered his pleas on the 4 charges. On his way out, the defendant Lewis waved at family members who turned away from him with frustrated expressions. Lewis was not granted bail. In fact, his lawyers didn't even argue for bail. The judge in this case set the next court date for September 1st. We will, of course, continue to follow this story for you as it develops. That's the story from Schenectady. I'm Zion Decoto, News 10, ABC.
A Rotterdam man could spend the rest of his life in prison after killing his parents and then fleeing the state. A jury convicted 22-year-old Anthony Lewis Jr. of 2 counts of first-degree murder and other charges.
We got video of Lewis during the arraignment in August of 2023. Prosecutors say he stabbed to death his mother, Cathy Guillaume, and stepfather, Robert Guillaume, on July 4th of 2023. He then stole the couple's car and was driving through Pennsylvania when he crashed. Soon after that, the victims' bodies were discovered and Lewis was linked to the crime. The jury deliberated just 30 minutes before coming back with a verdict. Sentencing is scheduled now for July the 9th.
In early July 2023, police were called to a Rotterdam home after loved ones grew worried. What they discovered was brutal. 65-year-old Cathy Guillaume was found lifeless in a bedroom. Her husband, 73-year-old Robert Guillaume, was discovered upstairs, covered by a blanket. Both had been stabbed multiple times. The details only grew darker. Authorities believe the killer remained inside that home with their bodies for nearly 26 hours before fleeing. When he finally left, he took the family dogs, stole Robert Guillaume's car, and drove to Pennsylvania, where he crashed the vehicle and was caught. The suspect was no stranger. It was Cathy's own son, Anthony Lewis Jr., who had been living with the couple at the time of the murders.
I don't like the words you choose. I don't know where you learned them. You're certainly showing no respect for the court. You're showing no respect for the victims in this case, or anybody involved.
No respect for God.
Did I cut you off? Did I cut you off? Why are you cutting me off? I let you speak.
It's over.
Are you going to let me speak?
A judge there not holding back after he was interrupted while speaking at a sentencing hearing today. This happened in Schenectady County. Anthony Lewis, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He's been convicted of killing his mother as well as his stepfather. And Lewis, well, he didn't hold back when the judge gave him permission to speak. He didn't hold back even when the judge didn't give him permission.
Get y'all tripping for real. I'm not about to fight in prison. I'm not going to die in prison through the grace of God.
Whether he likes it or not, Anthony Lewis will spend the rest of his life behind bars. Convicted for the murders of his mother and stepfather in Rotterdam, Lewis's day to be sentenced in court finally arrived.
I am going to go forward and sentence you. I know you don't care what I sentence you to, and honestly, I don't really care that you care, or do care or not. On count 1, murder in the first degree, I'm going to sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
This isn't Lewis's first trip into the courtroom. He first went on trial for murder back in April for stabbing his mother and stepfather, Cathy and Bob Guillaume, to death inside their home back in July of 2023. Something he doesn't deny.
For Rob Guillaume's daughter, Amy Conway, the crime shattered her world. Her father wasn't just a parent. He was her biggest supporter. He had cheered her on at childhood competitions, shared his love of music, the beach, and golf, and filled family life with humor and warmth.
A number of Lewis's own family members were in court to speak out against him and what he'd done.
His ridiculous reason for why he did this enrages me. I hope the court realizes the absurdity of murdering your mother and stepfather.
Amy described how he loved funny socks, how he was a trivia buff, and how he treated Anthony Lewis like a son. Now, she'll never see him watch her restaurant succeed. He'll never meet milestones, like his granddaughter's graduation or her wedding day. It's heartbreaking to lose your dad who was living such a vibrant life, she said. But to lose him in such a violent way is beyond comprehension. Cathy's sister, Christine Garney, felt that loss just as deeply. After years of distance, the two sisters had grown close again. They took trips, shared meals, and rebuilt their bond. That new closeness was ripped away in the most violent way imaginable. When the case reached court, the family and community expected remorse, maybe even an apology. But what they got was something far more chilling. Anthony Lewis stood before the judge and calmly admitted to the killings. He claimed God had commanded him to spill blood. He cursed out his own attorney. He read scriptures that he twisted into justification. And then, with no shame in his voice, he said, "Yeah, I killed them because God told me to. I don't care what you sentence me to today, because I'll be back out through the grace of God. You should be worried about yourself."
Yeah, I killed them because God told me to. He didn't let me get to the scripture. But you listen to this all day. It's bad and he's a.
You're really going to speak like that?
Yeah, now listen. God commanded me to kill them, and I did it. I don't care what you sentence me to today. So I'm looking back out to the grace of God. But you should be worried about yourself. Because I'm still going to get out. This sentence don't mean nothing. God got me through the grace of God. And so, all you straight up, I'm good.
Some people inside the courtroom had to leave. The atmosphere was unbearable. An almost surreal mix of profanity, scripture, and utter lack of remorse. Even the judge apologized to the family on Lewis's behalf, calling it one of the most disturbing cases he had ever witnessed in more than 30 years. In May 2024, a jury deliberated less than an hour before convicting Lewis on all charges: 2 counts of first-degree murder, grand larceny, and unauthorized use of a vehicle. On July 30th, 2024, Judge Mark Caruso sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The judge, preparing for retirement, said he was relieved this was the last sentence he ever imposed. Life in prison without parole? Don't have to worry about you anymore.
Judge Mark Caruso summed up the day before ending the sentencing.
I have been in this business for almost 32 years now, and quite honestly, I have to have a poker face up here when people are testifying on the stand and witnesses are on the stand. And if I didn't have to have that face, my jaw would have dropped when you mentioned what you did to these people that loved you.
What he did to the people that loved him, the judge said. Now, as for the judge in Lewis's case, Mark Caruso, this happens to be the last sentencing of his entire career. Before retiring, he ended today's sentencing by saying to Lewis, quote, "Get him out of my courtroom."
Anthony Lewis murdered 2 people who had shown him nothing but love. a mother who tried to save him, and a stepfather who treated him like family. Instead of gratitude, he chose violence, choosing to believe his cruelty was divine will. Now, he would spend the rest of his life behind bars, his words and actions haunting the families he destroyed. But the question lingers, was this pure evil, or a deeply broken man hiding behind the voice of God? Sometimes, there are no answers that can heal what's been lost. Alright y'all, there y'all have it, man. That's the crazy story of Anthony Lewis Jr. Hey man, get in that comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this Cook dude. Hey man, drillers and trappers, we outside trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!
Yeah, I killed him because God told me to. He didn't let me get to the scripture. But you listen to this all day. It's fat and he's a.
Are you really going to speak like that?
Yeah, it's now listen. God commanded me to kill him, and I did it. I don't care what you sentenced me to today. So I'm looking back out to the grace of God. But you should be worried about yourself. Cause I'm still gonna get out. This sentence don't mean nothing. God got me through the grace of God. And so all you straight up. I'm good.
Are you done, Mr. Loomis?
Now I'm good through the grace of God.
Thank you. Showing no respect for the court, showing no respect for the victims in this case, or anybody involved.
No respect for God.
Did I cut you off? Did I cut you off? Why are you cutting me off? I let you speak.
It's over.
Are you going to let me speak? I have been in this business for almost 32 years now, and quite honestly, I have to have a poker face up here when people are testifying on the stand and witnesses are on the stand. And if I didn't have to have that face, my jaw would have dropped when you mentioned what you did to these people that loved you.